Hi, Bill here. Today I'll be reviewing 52 Toys Violet Vortex. Here's the box here. But before I do that, I got it from this eBay seller. This one here. Okay, so go to that person's eBay page and see what they've got. Okay, that's it. So now I can continue. There's the box there. Looking really nice. I like the design on it. Look at all the lovely design on it. That's 52 Toys, Violet Vortex, right there. Let's get right up there. Nice window, it's showing you the figure. It's basically a mechanical squid. I know I've got an octopus, which you'll see later. There's there, and there's the squid there. Violet Vortex, warning sign there. All that blurb and foreign lighting, and some is in English there. And there's the other side of the box is there. I'll even take it out to show you that's just the sleeve, so you see it in there like that. That is part of the rocket, it forms a rocket, so we'll get to that. And that's the launch platform as it can form. So that really made me want this figure. If it was just a squid and it didn't have that, I might not be as interested. Of course, you get a nice coloured box to put it in, and there it is there with all the stickers and stuff and that. I'll get it out shortly. And it's not a box opening this, it's just me showing you. And it's got Violet Vortex written on it, box charger, instructions, box charger, bonus. That's a bonus, you can see right there, that's the bonus thing. And there it is there with 52 Toys written on it. So I'll put it back in there, and without further ado, we'll get it out the box. Okay. And here it is out the packaging. And there it is there. As you can see, really cool. I think it's based on a prehistoric giant squid of some nature. I don't know the technical names for it, or the whatever they call them back then. They're all kind of weird names. But yeah, I think it's based on a prehistoric squid with a cone-shaped shell on it. Although for squid, I've never seen a squid with 6 legs. Normally it's 8 or 10. You know, it's 8 with 2 whips, or 10 arms or tentacles. I've never seen a squid with just 6. Which this one has. I know it doesn't have to be scientifically accurate, but it's just a toy. But there we go. That's it there. You get this, which one of the modes is a rocket mode that you can build the launch pad out of, and that's what you get with it. That's what really drew me to getting this figure, because you see the rocket mode, which, by the way, is not in the instructions. Instructions just go from squid to cube. There's none for the rocket, even though it's featured on the box and features in the promotional images for the toy. It's not featured in the instructions, it's just that to cube, which is kind of odd. But anyway, there we go. And especially when you get this with it. So that's not in the, I don't think that's in the, no, I don't think that's in the instructions either. It's just, no, it's just squid to cube. As you can see, there's no instructions for the, I mean, it's easily put together, the launch pad, but why that's not included in the instructions is beyond me. Other thing you get with it, you get the catalogue. The only one out of it I've got is, I mean, that train one looks alright, but I don't know if I'll get it or not. It might be too expensive. I've got that. I've got the power loader. I've got the Alien Queen. Out that side, I've got the octopus, which I've seen reviews of. There's a combiner one there, which I didn't know about. You get that combines into a gigantic gorilla. Didn't know about that. Oh, there's a combiner one there as well. It forms, so there's 2 combiners, and I don't think there's anything else. I thought I might have the wee whale submarine. It doesn't even have that on here. So it's a whole load of different ones that you can get. Okay. We've got that. We've got another catalogue with these in it. That's the vehicle ones that you get, the Beast Drive. You get that. And that's how you put it together. Obviously you snap it all together a bit like blockies. It's like a build that you got to do with that. You get this thing, whatever it is, it's just a catalogue of different figures that are nothing to do with these. And you get the card. That's the only card one you get. Violet Vortex, and nothing in the back. You get this little catalogue for whatever it is as well. And of course, with all other video reviews of this, it comes with a pack of cards that you have to open. I don't know if I can open them. There should be a little tear in it that could get that open. I thought it'd be easily opened, but it's not. Ah, it is opening. It is opening. I managed to open it. It's just a bunch of cards, like the other ones. You get that one, whatever that is. Looks like some sort of beetle. You get the. Now, I'm surprised they don't do that as a mouser. You know, the turtles, because they did the turtle ones, but I don't know why they don't do that as a mouser. You get the scorpion, you get that one, and you get that one. And they're all just blank in the back. So that's all the ones you get. Okay, so you've seen them all. And put all these away. I'll move on with the different mods. Hold on. Before I do that, hold on. Right, seeing as I showed, since you know I've got the octopus, there it is here. There's the octopus there, next to the squid. So there you go. Gives you some idea of what to get. Okay, and I can move the arms down, open them out, like that. You can move them round, move them down. Oh, you've got to turn it first. I'll do it on screen. I meant to do this off screen. So you can actually turn that bit around. So it's got the beak. There's the beak there. So you can turn them around. And have that. Or you can move them legs out like that. Something like that, and that will give you the squid. So you get the squid next to the octopus. See, have it standing like that. There we go. So there's a squid next to the octopus. Although, I forgot to do it that way. Forgot to do it that way. So it's basically that way. I did it the wrong way. There we go. There's a squid next to the octopus. Okay, that's it there. So there's a squid next to the octopus. So I've got the octopus, but it has 8 arms, which is obviously an octopus. Weird how this only has 6, but there we go. So you can move them anyway which round. I showed you can move that to get the beak. There's the beak there, but it's also got a peg hole that you can put attached. Maybe this to as a stand, which you can see later. And all these arms move. Okay, so move around like that, like that. This rotates, this spins, this opens up as well. I'll get that opened up like that. It's got detail inside it. It's also got a wee peg hole there, and a peg hole there if you want to put something on it. But there we go. It just rotates and it opens up and down like that. So you can move them any which way you want, And there we go. So, right, now to get it into the different modes, let's see what else I can do. Yeah, okay, we'll go with that mode. There's a weird mode it does. So to get it into this other weird mode, I think you've got to have it tucked in like that, tucked in like that, tucked in like that, tucked in like that, tucked in like that. Tucked in like that. Move them like this. Yeah, I think they have it like that. Something like that. You have it in like that. Then what you want to do is pull them open. Have two like this. And then two clipped along the side there. So you have two up like that and two clipped in there and the slot in there. I just slot them in there. So I have two sitting up like that. And then what you want to do is angle that up like this. Angle it up like this. And angle it like that. And that's one of the modes it does. I don't know what you call this mode, but that's one of the modes it shows in the feature. Oh, well, it's supposed to sit up like that. So that's the mode you can get it into. I'll put it down. That's one of the modes you can get it into. Whatever that's called, I don't know, but that's one of the modes. Okay. Oh, the other thing I haven't shown, hold on. The other thing I haven't shown is, it comes with this box, but it's a different coloured one to the standard plain ones. It's got a tampograph on it and it's got these weird eye things at the side. So it's looking pretty cool. They all come with these. So it has this. This comes into one of the modes later on because it can't stand up on its own. I have to sit on this. Okay, so we'll get to that later. Next mode we'll get to, if we can, is we've got to fold these in, all of them, to get to this other mode, right? I'll not say what it is yet. We'll push this back like this. We'll have that like that. Okay, that's part of it. We'll have this up like this. And I'm just seeing how this goes. I think we tuck these in, if I'm remembering rightly how to do this. You put two like that. You put that there. It doesn't peg in, you just hold it there. It holds on its own. It does hold on its own. Hold on. Like that. You have it like that. You have them in there like that. Have them in there like that. And they can even go together. So you have it something like that, okay? With them arms. These other ones, try and get it. Try and get it that way. It might not want to go. Right, you put them in like this. Try and put the outer ones, and try and have the inner ones, if you can. It's not easy. Like that, if you can. Something like that. It's not easy, but try and have the inner ones facing in the way like that. and then facing out the way like that, if you can. Or to make it, no, you need to have them in there. You need to have the two in and two out, I guess. And just try and line them up the best you can. And you have something like this. It's supposed to be a gun, a pistol, some descript. It's supposed to be a pistol. Okay, it's not perfect. These don't line up properly for the handle, but it's supposed to be a pistol, and you get the trigger sight guard there as well. So it's supposed to be some sort of pistol, as you can see. Probably better holding it there like that. So it's not perfect by any means, but that's what it shows in the picture. It shows something like that. It doesn't accurately show how the handle goes, but the gun grip, but it's something along those sort of lines that you can get a gun out of it. So that's that. Okay, we'll go on to the next mode. Okay, no, I'll leave one of the modes. I'll take it to that mode, I think. Hold on. Let me do this. Just seeing the modes here, because I've got a picture of them, how it all goes together. Right. Right, okay. Right, we'll close this over. We'll have that out like that. Now this is where the box comes in, because this thing cannot stand on its own to get this mode. So we'll bring these out. I think it's something like this. And you're going to have that there, and you're going to bring them down and turn these around. So you can bring them down and turn these around, and there, have another mode. Okay, bring them down, turn these around, and open them up like that. These, I think, I think you have them like this. You bring them in like that, do that, and bring them like that. These you tuck in like this. You tuck these in. You have them like this. You have them like this. These ones you tuck in like this. You tuck these in. Okay, so you end up with something like that. Okay, nah, we're not finished yet. Ah, right. With this, yeah, you do. You split this open. You split that open. And you peg, there's a slot there, tab there, so you tab it in at the side, slot there, peg there, you tab it in at the side. Hold on, is that right? No, aye, that's right, that's right, that's right. Then you rotate this bit down, right down. Ah, well, before you do that, you lift these up, you lift them up. You lift these up, and you lift these side up, okay, and then you put them together. You rotate them and you put them together like that. Okay, so you lift that up, lift this up, and you rotate them together. You rotate them together so it looks like something like that. Okay, and then you put it down there. You have it as low as you can. It doesn't lock in anywhere. It doesn't lock in anywhere. You just have it like that, tuck these in there. You might have to move things around a little to bring these right back. Tuck them in, and you have something like this, and it's some sort of weird creature, but it won't stand because it's back heavy and it won't stand on these legs because they move too thinly. So this is where you bring the box in. It can actually sit on the box because it can't stand, and you get some weird creature. Okay, or if you want, you can bring these up and you can have it it's like it's got over the shoulder missiles or over the top missiles like that, so you can make it fire. Okay, so you can do that. It doesn't lock in, let's say, but it is strong enough to hold back there. It doesn't flop around, so you can definitely do that and need that for it to sit on, because it can't stand up on its own. I've seen pictures where it is standing, but I think it's holding on to something to make it stand, or they've put a stand in. There is one that looks as if it is standing up, but they must have some way to keep it up, because try to stand it on its own with these flopping around, there's nothing there for it to stay upright with. So I wouldn't attempt to try to get it to stand unless you put a stand in there. With using these, you can put the stand in there where the beak is. That's a peg hole, and there's a peg big enough to fit it, and you can stand it on that. But it's very noticeable. But there we go. That's the other mode it does. Let me just check. There's another mode. I'm sure there's another mode it does. Just checking these. Hold on. There is other modes it does. While it's in this configuration, there is another mode it can do. So what you want to do is bring them down. Bring these down. Bring that down like that. Have it there. Just peg them in. Okay, so bring these down. Bring these down. Like that. Mode. I'm hoping not to have this one too long. Do it, not to have the video too long. It's not going to be long-winded as the other ones have been, like the Scorponaut one and that. Oh, can I just say, I've left the comment sections open, so I haven't done it made for kids, so it leaves the comment section. For this video, for the last two videos, the comment sections are left open. I don't know if you know that already. So you are allowed to comment if you want. I'm not forcing you to comment, but it is open. It is an option that you can comment on them if you want. Okay, if you want to ask any questions or something. If it gets to, whenever you say that and say don't troll and that, it's social media. You just know there's going to be bots or trolls in the comments. So if it gets too much, I'll just turn it off. But for the time being, the time you hear this, the comments section is left open, unless of course there's too much trolling on it, and then it'll have to switch it off. And yes, I can do that. It's as you know, if you're a YouTuber, you can have such settings. You can switch these off as well as switch them on. So I'll just have to see how it goes. But if you're all behaving in the comment section and there's nothing going on, then you can definitely comment in there if you want to. This is the other mode it does. It's kind of weird spider creature, crawling spider mode thing. It's very weird. It's very weird. It's like some sort of weird creature spider mode you can have. So that's the other mode it does. That's the other mode. You see it's got a yum 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 mouth there. So, and the mouth does actually move, I think. well, it doesn't move just now, but there's sometimes it does move. It can move. I think it can move. Yeah, there's ways of making it move, but there we go. So that's our mode that has a weird spider crawly creature thing you can do, where you have to sit it forward. This backpack gets in the road, but it can form a kind of weird spider mode. Okay, that's the other mode it can do. Right, the other one it does. Hold on. I'll do this one. I'll take it back to squid mode, because this one's pretty cool. It can do the arrangement of the arms. So we'll put that out there like that. Now I'm leaving the rocket and another few modes to them, because it can go for rocket to another mode and then goes to cube mode. So I'll keep cube mode last, because it's just a natural progression of it, and it's very, you'll see the flow of it. It's better doing it that way than taking it from this mode to cube mode and then back to a different mode. So that's the order I'm going to do it, and it actually makes sense, because it just flows better from these modes to that. So take it there. Yeah, that is out like that. So another one you can do is this. You can have it go that direction. I'm just going to do this. Just going to do it like this. I'm just going to do it like this. I'm just going to do it like this. And it'll go like this. And you can move them out. You can move them anyway. Oh, it does look weird like that. But anyway, that's the way it seems to be on that. So you can have it like that. Unfortunately, you can't spin it. It would look pretty cool if it spinned, but you can have it like that as a squid. Okay, and you can put it on a stand. You know, you can peg it in there on the stand later. We'll get the stand out later, and you can do that. Now these, I've pegged them together. There is a way to peg them together. They do come not pegged together, so like that, or a different configuration that's put together. But the best way to do it is just to have it like that with the pegs, and then just peg it together. It doesn't peg exactly correctly, but you know, snugly, but it does peg together and keeps the two halves together. So that's that. I'll put them apart just now, and then we'll get to the that mode after. Let's see what else I've got to do, if that's it. I'm sure there was another mode, but maybe that was it. I'm just checking my pictures here, because otherwise I forget how to turn these things into right. Okay, we're going to go and we're going to build. Well, first of all, we've got to get it into this other mode. This is the best mode I love, and you can keep it in this mode because it's really cool. Because it is really cool. So what you got to do is rotate, is lift this up. That it does go yum 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 like that. See, when you move that, when you move that round, it does go yum 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 yum. See the little mouth, it goes yum 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 yum. Right, anyway, so what you want to do is have it like this, move that back like that, so it's in that configuration, and move them there, move them there, move them there. And what you want to do is fold these in, fold these in, fold them in, and yeah, you're gonna right, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing now. Right, so you want to turn these in as well. Yes, you turn these in. So you turn these in. You want that side facing out the way, out the way. You want these sides facing out the way. So the white faces in the way and the black bit faces out the way. That's the way you want the leg configuration. Okay. And the other thing is, you've got to hold on to that and move it that way, because this will move like this. I'll move it two places. So hold that there and move it there. Do it with all of them. You want that held there. That held there. And you want that held like that. Okay? That side. Don't have it down there like that. Have it there. Hold it. And push it that way. So that bit stays up and it bends down. You don't want the whole thing going down. So you want it bending down. You don't want the whole thing going down. Okay? You bend it to that bit. Okay, like that. Now, you'll notice tabs and slots, they do tab in. The other thing where it tabs into, I don't know if you notice, is there. So there's little bits there that it grips onto, and it tabs into that tab there, the middle one. Okay, those will line up eventually. So you don't want that, you want it going like this, and you want it tabbing on there like that, and then it lines up. You want it like that, and then you just tab them together. You get the middle one in, just tab the two sides on, that's one side done. Okay, do the same with the other, put them there, tab it on, make sure it's lined up, it's not, there we go, it's tabbed into the middle. Probably had that off screen. There we go. There. Tabs in. It's best to tab the middle one in first, and then tab two sides ones onto each other. So tab that in the middle. Then there's a tab there and a slot there. Just tab it on to the side. Tab there, and then tab it there into the side. Okay, and then just squeeze all together. There we go, that's that done. And yeah, we're left with something looking like that. That's supposed to be the rocket. Okay, not a perfect looking rocket, right? This, you take these off, you get that, you take that off, you take this off, lifts off like that, you open that up, and you're left with that. Okay, you take this, half of this, and open it right up, and you take this section and you open this part up. Okay, so open it like that and you put it in there like this. Okay, now you get another one at the bottom, you open that out and you open it like that, and of course it will fit in there. It fits in there. I probably should put that aside because it's focusing in on it just now. We're doing this. Okay, and then of course you add this in. You do one at the bottom. Well, actually we do one at the top. You put the two halves in there like that and do that. Okay, so that's one side done. You do the same with the other side. There we go. So take these off the base, take these off, open that out, pull the little tab down. There's no tab at that side. Take that off, open that out, and you've got that there, and you do it along the bottom one. You can do it there. You can place it up, you can place it any way you like, but that's the way they want you to officially have it. Okay. Do that. Pull that down. Put it on there. And obviously at the bottom and have it like that. Okay, we're not quite finished yet. Where do you put this? You put it on the back. You just hook it onto the back. I'm trying to see what way it goes. I think it might go that way. No, it doesn't. It goes. There's certain ones it fits into. There's certain ones it fits into. Ah, that's how it goes. It goes in the middle one. It goes in the middle one. So you tab it in there and tab it in there, and that keeps it together. And there you have your launch platform. And there's the rocket there. You just have to put it in the right way. It doesn't peg in anywhere. It just sits on the platform like that. And there you go with the rocket. And that's your rocket right there. It doesn't look much like a rocket, but it is a rocket. It's supposed to be a rocket. Okay. So that's the other thing. That is a nice display piece to have it as a rocket. And we've just had, speaking of rockets, we've just had Artemis 2. So this will be Violet Vortex 2. Violet Vortex 2. Not violent, Violet Vortex 2. So there we go. Ready for takeoff. Or is it Violet Vortex 3? Because Artemis 3 is going to land on the moon. So there we go. So it's not perfect. It's not accurate to looking like a rocket, but it's as close approximation as you're going to get. And it's cool that it has the launch platform. Now you can configure these any way you want. There's pegs and holes all over it, so you can get other configurations. I'm just showing you the most obvious one that it has, and it really complements it really well. But yeah, you can peg these on there, I guess. It will peg on there like that. I mean, it's stupid having it like that, and of course it makes it top heavy and that, but it makes it lean over and that, but it has holes on there as well you can peg it onto and things like that. Okay, so there we go. So that's the best mode it has. So we'll go from this, and this will get you down to the next configuration I'm going to do. You've got to take them off again, and then we'll get to cube mode and put it back to squid mode and end the video. Okay, so you bring them down like this. Bring them down like this. Okay, open this up. Try to figure out, it does open that way. Open this up. Hold on. You bring it down there like this. You open that up and you peg it in. There. You peg it in there, and look what you've got. You've got a hover car. That's the cockpit or the driver's compartment. You've got a hover car. It looks like a hover car. See, I don't know if you can, maybe we can use one of these to make it look better. We'll take that apart and we'll see if we can use a bit of this. I don't know if it will allow me to do this. Hold on. It might not allow me to do this, but I'll try and see if I can do it somehow. I've got a kind of hover car. It doesn't really fit that way. I'm just going to try and see if we can fit it somehow. I don't know if, oh, mind you, that's a smaller peg in it. Ah, maybe it'll hook onto that. Maybe it doesn't. I thought it was. I thought it would hook onto that. You could have a stand with a hover car. But anyway, that's the hover car. That's the hover car. That came out. So that's a hover car, and you can open the hover car's cockpit or driver section like that, even though there's nothing really inside to put a driver in. You can do that, and that's a hover car. Ooh, it's almost like a Fantastic Four hover car. So you can do that with it. Okay, now to go from this, you're going to go to cube mode, and this is why I've done it this way. All you do is you pull them out a wee bit, pull it over there like that, and you push them back in. You push them back in, obviously like that, and that is giving you cube mode. No, everything's came out, hasn't it? So I have to align everything back up. I think that side's in. So that is cube mode. There's cube mode right there. You can't put these onto it, unfortunately. But that's cube mode. That's cube mode right there. And yeah, that pegs into there. That iron just pegs into that slot there. So that's cube mode. So that's how I've got it to do that. But you can't. You have to put these back into the way it was. So, but that's cube mode, and it will fit in the box. I'm sure it will fit in the box. I'll let you see it fit in the box. I'm sure it fits in the box. There we go. Fits in the box. So that is cube mode right there. So it goes from the rocket to the futuristic flying car to cube mode. That's the best way to do it. You know, you got to line the legs back up again. You have to move things around and line them back up, pull them out a wee bit and fold it over, and that's cube mode. It's quite very easy cube mode. Other cube modes of 52 Toys is, you know, it's a bit more complex to get it into cube mode, even the Doctor Who ones into cube mode. But with this, it's really easy. You know, going from the rocket to the flying car to cube mode is very simple. Okay, so that's that, and there we go. So let me get it back into squid mode, and we'll end the video. Okay, or I'll talk a wee bit and then I'll end the video. But if you want to stop there when after I've done the review, that's up to you. Okay, give me a sec. But before I do that, I've got all this separate, so we'll so you put that in like that, you close it over, and you close them over like that, and with this one you do the same. You put it away and you push it together like that. Or does it go that way? I think it might go that way. It goes that way, because that's rounded at one side, so it goes that way. Okay, so do the same with the other side. Put that away, make sure that side's there, put it like that, and close these over and fold these in. Fold these in first and close it over. Then you put the two halves together like that and like that, or you put the two halves together that way. See, they only go a certain way. You can only have it a certain way. You can't have it that way. No, it only goes certain ways. So you can only have it a certain way. You can't have it any other way. So this is what you do. You push the two halves together like this, or you might have to rotate it that way. I would rotate it that way. Yeah, it goes that way. Does it? Ah, it does. It goes that way. So you rotate it that way and you push the two halves together. That's what you do. Then you put them on and they should just be able to go that way and hook on. It hooks on like that, and try to see what way up it is. It hooks on like that. Hooks on there, and that's how you keep them together. So that's that. Okay, now we'll get it back to squid and thingy mode. Hold on. So that has been 52 Toys Violet Vortex. And the best mode out of it, I would say, is not just a squid mode, because it's weird how it only has 6 legs, but like I said, it doesn't have to be scientifically accurate, these things. And it is based on a prehistoric thing, but even so, the prehistoric one, you go and look at pictures of it, I can't remember the names of them. It has more tentacles than that, but there we go. But anyway, the best mode out of it is obviously the rocket mode with the launch pad. That, I would say, that's the best mode. And then go from there to the flying car to the cube. It's the easiest way to do it, that I showed in the video. So, well, if it was on screen, that's my reputation, seems to do things off screen and do it here and then you see it. But anyway, that's it. So if you want to stop watching now, that's up to you, but I'm going to ramble on a wee bit. I know it's at 44 minutes, I think. So there we are. It isn't too bad, this one. It's not over an hour. And yeah, I thought I would just put the octopus in against the thing. Weird, because that's got 8 arms. That's the correct amount of tentacles, but this doesn't. It's odd. But anyway, that's what it is. But that's 52 toys. So weird, but that's the way it is. And it isn't a proper squid. I mean, I don't know if they'll bring a proper squid out with the little bits at the side like that. I don't know if they'll bring a proper one out down the line. No idea. But that's it for 52 toys now. So if you want to stop watching here, you can. That's the end of the review of this. I'm just going to go on to talk about other things. Now, that's me finished with the reviews for the time being. I've got nothing else planned coming out, I know, but keep watching the channel in case I do impulse buy anything. I don't think there's nothing in the immediate future. Yes, there's the Omega Supreme by Dr. Wu coming out, but I've got the Mini Sentry. As you go back and look at the videos from Mini Sentry, Mike Fans Toys Mini Sentry, you'll see it. It's smaller than the Omega Supreme one that's coming out. In fact, give me a second, I'll go and get it. Hold on. There's Mini Sentry there, and just to compare it to a Dr. Wu, they're doing the Titan range figures. There's Metro Titan, so it does stand smaller, and you know his Omega is going to be a similar size to that, if not slightly bigger. So Mini Sentry's smaller, as you can see. It doesn't form a cube, I know that. It's more accurate because it has a middle chibi tank that goes around the track on it. And we know you'll get 2 repaints. You'll get the standard one like this, and you'll get the blue and the white one, the repaint. So we'll know we'll get that, whether it'll be a dark coloured one, I don't know. The Big Betty Fans Toys Huge did different repaints. They did the standard, the blue and the white, and they did a dark colour. So I don't know if Dr. Wu will do that. Not sure. So, but yeah, that is much smaller than that, as you can see, standing next to it, if it stands. So there we go. So I have got a tiny Omega. It says it's around June, July it comes out. So I'm not looking. Now I said that about Scorponaut, but we didn't know Dr. Wu was going to bring out a Shattered Glass one, Fortress Maximus colours, and that's what really pulled the trigger for me for it. I held off for a while, but eventually saw I got it and reviewed it. But with that, I don't think I'm gonna get the Dr. Wu one, because I've got that. I know it doesn't come with a tank, I know that, but it's retool from the Lost Planet figures of mech suits. I know it's a retool from that, but that one's even smaller than this, so I've got a smaller one than Dr. Wu's going to do. Now down the line, Dr. Wu will do the Fort Max. I might get that. I might get that. That's out later in the year. I might get that if I can afford it, or whatever happening with me at the time. After that, I'm wondering if he's going to do Unicron and Primus. You've seen the smaller Zingang Primus. It's a scaled down version of basically, you know, I said at the time in the review, it was a scaled down of the studio cell Primus that came out. So I wonder if Dr. Wu's going to do a Primus, a small one, even smaller than that Zingang one. So I'm wondering if he's going to do a Primus as well. If you're wondering, how can you get a sphere and then turn it into a cube? In one side it might be curved, and then you rotate it and it's completely straight on the other side. That's probably how they do it, because they've got all these hinges and swivel sections, so maybe it'll be curved on one side, right, and then it will swivel and it'll be flat on the other, and that's how you get the cube section for that. Same with Unicron. It's probably panels that swivel. It's probably a panel one. So I would imagine that there's engineering ways that they can do that. It's going to be flat on one side and curved on the other, and it's just on a swivel that it can maybe swivel these sections out, or it'll be, you know, it'll be a panel former. There'll be panels that can fold away and fold out. I don't know how he's going to I don't know how he's going to engineer that if he does a Primus and a Unicron, because they're all spheres, and how do you turn that into cubes? So that would be interesting to see how he does that. But there we go. But I'm hoping he does, because if Zingang can do a scaled down version of basically the studio cell one, then I don't see why Dr. Wu can't do his scaled down one, miniaturized versions of that. It'd be pretty cool if they did somewhere down the line. But we'll have to wait and see. There's no news of that happening, so don't quote me on that it's happening. But he's done, as you can see, he's doing the Titan bots already. So maybe he's going to do the. It would be great if somewhere down the line we got a Unicron, a tiny Unicron, and a Titan. I mean, look at Blocky's Unicron, and it's got the head and it's got the planet mode. It'll probably no bigger than that with Dr. Wu's. When it's in planet mode, it'll probably be that scale. When you look at the Blockies one, or the planet mode Unicron, it'll probably be similar size to that. It's not very big. And then of course, Dr. Wu's one will transform, and it'll have a cube mode as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that's done. But yeah, I'm not planning on getting Omega Supreme. I'll just bring this back in. I'm not planning on getting Omega Supreme of Dr. Wu's, because I've got that mini Sentry. It's even smaller, even though it doesn't have a cube mode, doesn't have a tank that goes around the track, but I've got that, so I've got a tidy one that transforms anyway, even though it's a heavy retool of another figure that Mech Fans Toys did. So the Lost Planet mech suits. But anyway, that's basically where we're at with that, and there's nothing coming in the future that I'm keen on officially. I mean, yeah, there's the IDW Fortress Maximus, which is just a tank, really. I think it's supposed to be a heavy retool of Armada Megatron. Well, we don't know that, but it's similar in style of a tank to that Megatron tank, so I can imagine it being retooled from that. It's not going to be a city bot. A lot of people think, oh, it's going to be a city bot. No, it's not. It's going to be a tank. It's going to be, go look at the IDW version. Don't look at the standard version, look at the IDW one. He was a tank, Fortress Maximus, so in that iteration. So it'll probably be a tank, and the only one that comes even close to it is that Armada Megatron. So probably retool from that. You'll probably say, oh, but Armada Megatron's Leader class and this thing's going to be deluxe or whatever it is. I don't know. But I mean, there's going to be retooling going on, obviously. So I don't know if it'll be that, or maybe it is leader class. I don't know. It'll be something like that anyway, I would imagine, if it's not a full new tools figure, you know. But it's going to be a tank. That's as much as I know about it. So I don't know if I want that or not. I'm not sure if I want that. Other ones Doctor Wu hasn't done. He hasn't done many Skylinks. He hasn't done Octane. I don't know if he's done Astro Train or Blitzwing or you know, Octane, or if he's done Springer, or if he's done I know New Age did Broadside, but I don't know if Doctor Wu's done a tiny Broadside. He hasn't done any of those yet, so I don't know if Doctor Wu, there's a lot of Doctor Wu ones that have not done tiny figures versions of those yet. So I'm wondering if we'll see those down the line at some point from Doctor Wu, as well as done the City Bots and hopefully a Primus and hopefully a Unicron. I wonder if he's going to do Octane, the Triple Changers. You know, I wonder if he's going to do them, any of those. That'd be interesting to see. And, you know, whether it's Autobot ones or Decepticon ones, that's been interesting to see that. And if he could do an Astro Train, because that recent Astro Train, oh, the saviour from the Studio Series 86 Astro Train would be if they did a missing link Astro Train, basically taking the G1 version and updating the articulation on it. That would probably be better than that Studio Series 86 one, if they ever did a missing link one. Missing link seems to take ages. We've already got Ultra Magnus coming out there that people are reviewing. We know they're getting a Grimlock, which looks really good, but the next one, and we know they might be doing an Ironhide, and of course you get Ironhide, you're going to get Ratchet, but down the line we don't know what other ones are going to do. That you could easily do an Astro Train missing link, they could do all the Triple Changer ones missing link. So we don't know yet. We don't know yet. They might do a Broadside missing link, you don't know. So we don't know yet, but the Astro Chain missing link would be better than what we're being served up at the moment with that current one. So that would be a saviour, but I don't know if, and that's way down the line. Remember, they'll just get Ultra Magnus out and now, and next one obviously is Grimlock, that we've seen images of, and I don't know if they've done reviews of yet. And the one after that, they're planning, or the theory is it's going to be Ironhide and Ratchet. So it's a way down the line before we even see you know, an Astro Train missing link. So there's quite a few to come out yet, but way before that happens, if it happens. But I'm just saying, it's a way to save an Astro Train from the current thing they've dished out, you know, is do a missing link one, which we don't know. Right, that's at 56, so I better kind of end that. But yeah, right, again, I said during when I was fiddling with this figure, I said I've left with this one, and with two previous videos, I've left the comment section open. It's not made for kids. I'm not doing it made for kids. You know, it probably is, but I'm leaving it open so you could, if it gets too much, I'll switch it off. But it's up to you guys. I know saying that, it's going to lead me to, oh, I know what social media is like. You say don't do something and they automatically do it, and the troll and bots end up in there, and it ends up being a mess, and I'm going to have to switch it off. But for the time being, at the release of this video, usually it tells you somewhere when this video was uploaded, or it was posted, it was uploaded. It usually tells you somewhere. So at the time of the upload of this video, I'm leaving the comment section open, so you can comment there if you want. That's up to you. I'm not forcing your arm up your back to do it. It's going to be left open as an option. I haven't done that with all the previous ones before that, but with the last two and this one, I'm leaving it open for the time being anyway. If it gets too much, I'll switch it off, but it depends what's been commented. So there we go. But I know it's asking for me to get trolled and bots happening and people leaving nasty comments. I get that. That's what I'm saying. If it gets too much, it's getting switched off. But if it doesn't and it's all right, and if people do decide to comment, I'm not expecting anyone to comment. I think of one comment which someone left, and I was scratching my head at it. It was left on 100. Was it 100 or something? I can't remember. It was they commented with a number. I don't know what enough that was. But anyway, when one of my previous ones, so recently there, but I was scratching my head at what they were meaning by that. But anyway, but you don't need to comment, it's up to you, but definitely give it a thumbs up. But that's me for the time being. I'm not going to be doing much else after this, okay? Nothing planned anyway. Like I say, an impulse buy could happen, but I'm not going to get that Omega because I've got that mini Sentry, and the next one, Doctor Wu one, if at all possible, if I happen to have the cash and I was able to get it, would be Fortress Max. Now I don't know which Fortress Maximus Doctor Wu one I would get. Is it the standard one? Is it Brave? Or would it be Grand? Because I think Infinitor might be Grand or Brave. He looks that colour. He's definitely a different colour to the standard one, slightly. So I don't know if that's Grand. No, it isn't Grand. They did Grand. I don't know if it's Brave then. I don't know if it's Brave or just standard colours for that one. It might just be the standard one, I don't know. But there's going to be, there's going to be Brave, there's going to be Grand, and there's going to be Forts. So I don't know which one I'll get in coloration, because you know I'll do them, and there's different colours. So I'll wait and see. And then of course we'll see if Primus and Unicron get done by him or not. Right, that's it at 1 hour. That's it just at 1 hour. So I better go. So that's me for the time being. Again, you want to comment, leave it, but if it gets too much, I'll switch them off. But hopefully that's not going to happen, although I'm just inviting for that to happen, aren't I? Because it's social media. Anyway, so that's me. Bye for now. But do keep checking to see what comes up. But no, I'm not expecting to get the Doctor Wu Omega, but the Fort Max or Grand or one of those repaints I'll get from him when he does them. I'll see at the time what my situation is, if I'm able to get it or not. Okay, so that's it for the time being. 52 toys, there's nothing much coming up on that I like the look of. I got that because the rocket mode is really good. I would definitely display it in rocket mode because that's really cool. That'd be a really cool display in rocket mode. If you want to have it in different mode, if you get it, great. I do recommend it, even though it doesn't have 10 arms or 8 arms and 2 whips. I know it's weird, but there we go. That's it. But there's nothing I see that's coming up that I'm going to get of 52 toys. The only thing is the 52 toys gimmick Doctor Wu or Fortress Maximus or one of the repaints. That's what I'll probably get. Okay, I'm just repeating myself now, so I better go. Right, bye for now. Bye.